I have been reading these posts for years. Never thought I would be the one typing this at 2 a.m. with a drink I shouldn't be having. But here we are. My wife Tessa and I have been together for 9 years, married for 2. I genuinely thought we were solid. Yeah, we had the usual stuff. Her long work hours at the tech company, me feeling like a +1 at her corporate events, the income gap that I tried not to think about too much. But I thought that was just marriage. You know, the real kind, not the Instagram version. She is a senior marketing director, making serious money. I am a mid-level project manager at a logistics company. Decent salary, but nowhere near hers. We bought our house in Austin 4 years ago. I put down most of the down payment from an inheritance, and I have been covering the mortgage solo because she needed to save for career investments. I never minded. I grew up watching my dad work himself to death providing for us, and I guess I internalized that as what love looks like. We have this running joke where she changes my contact name in her phone to ridiculous things. Snack Daddy was last month's household CEO before that. It is her sense of humor. Tonight, she was in the shower. Her phone buzzed on the bathroom counter. I wasn't snooping. The notification just lit up the screen while I was standing there brushing my teeth. Cannot wait for next month from someone named Red M. My hand started shaking before my brain caught up. Rhett. I knew that name. Her ex from Colorado. She had mentioned him maybe twice in 9 years, always in that dismissive that was forever ago way. I picked up her phone, no Face ID because she was in the shower. I opened Snapchat. 3 weeks of chat history that I cannot unsee now. Messages about missing each other, about how this feels right, about counting down days, inappropriate photos, and I mean inappropriate. One of them I recognized immediately, because our bedroom lamp with the broken shade is visible in the corner. The lamp I have been meaning to replace for 6 months. She is in a compromising position in our bed, making a face she has never made for me. I scrolled up plans, detailed freaking plans for November when she flies back to Colorado for her grandmother's 80th birthday party. She is taking Wednesday through Sunday off work. The party is Saturday, so what is the rest of the time for? The messages made it clear. Extended weekend, just for us. Finally get to have you all to myself. Booked us a place in Denver, not telling anyone where I am. Here is the part that made me actually laugh out loud in the worst way possible. I paid for that flight, gave it to her as an early birthday present last month, because money's been tight for her lately. She hugged me and called me thoughtful, said she had been stressing about affording the trip to see her grandmother. I paid for her to cheat on me, with money I earned at my mediocre job while she makes 3 times my salary. I walked into the bathroom with her phone in my hand. What the heck is this? Her immediate response. Why are you going through my phone? Classic deflection. Then it shifted to, it is not what it looks like. We are just talking. I showed her the photos. Her photos in our bed. That is when she said something I am still trying to process. You don't understand the pressure I am under. He gets me. He knew me before I became this corporate robot. When I talk to him, I feel like myself again. I asked if I paid for her to cheat on me. She actually got indignant. Don't be crude, and I paid you back. She didn't. Then came the real bomb. Honestly, Cole, I have felt like your project for years. Like you are trying to prove you are man enough by paying for everything. It is suffocating. I am sitting here at 2 a.m. trying to figure out if I am crazy. Was I suffocating her? Did I miss signs? I cannot sleep. I called in sick to work for the first time in 2 years. My older brother Derek came over this morning, took one look at me, and said pack her stuff. Today, she is staying at her friend Kayla's now. Took half the bathroom stuff, left our wedding photos on the counter. I don't know if that is a message or she just forgot them. Update 1, Tessa wanted to talk like adults. She suggested a coffee shop. I said absolutely not. I am not doing this, where I have to keep my voice down to avoid making a scene. We met at the house yesterday. She still has a key. The conversation started with her revised story. It began as innocent catching up after she found her ex Rhett on Instagram 2 months ago. Just talking about old times, nothing serious. She admitted the photos were mutual, but swears it was just fantasy. I wasn't going to actually do anything. I asked about the hotel reservation I found in her email. Yeah, I snooped more. Sue me, the boutique hotel in Denver 2 nights, Thursday and Friday. Check in the 14th of November. She had upgraded to the romance package, champagne and strawberries included. She went quiet for a solid 30 seconds. I was going to cancel it when, before or after I paid for your flight. Then the tears started, said she is lost and doesn't know who she is anymore. That our marriage feels like playing house. That Rhett represents this version of herself she misses, spontaneous, creative, free. I work 60-hour weeks, she said. I come home exhausted, and you are there being nice. And I feel like I am failing at everything. For a second, I almost felt bad for her. Then I remembered the photos, the hotel, the 3 weeks of lies. So cheat on me. That is your solution? I wasn't going to. You had a hotel room, Tessa. You sent him private pictures. Don't tell me you weren't going to do anything. Then came the line. Maybe we got married too young. Maybe this is the universe telling us something. I lost it. Don't freaking universe me. You planned to cheat. On a trip I paid for. Don't make this cosmic. You made a choice. Multiple choices, for weeks. Her face got colder. You want honesty? Fine. I have felt suffocated for years. Every time you pay for something, every time you support my career, it reminds me that you are trying to prove something. You are not enough on your own, so you overcompensate by being this martyr. I never asked you to pay the mortgage alone. You did that. Then you made me feel guilty for succeeding while you stayed stagnant. There it was. She resented me for supporting her, for not matching her income, for loving her the only way I knew how. Something clicked in that moment. She is rewriting our entire relationship history to justify what she did. Suddenly, our marriage was always broken, always doomed. Suddenly, I was always suffocating her with my support. It is textbook, and I cannot believe I almost bought it. After she left, I started going through our finances more carefully. She has been moving money to a separate savings account for 6 months. Not huge amounts, but consistent. Building an exit fund, I guess. Then yesterday at the gym, my buddy Chad pulled me aside. Bro, I need to tell you something. I saw Tessa acting weird at your company BBQ back in August, super flirty with some guy I didn't recognize. I didn't know if I should say anything. But after what you told me, I just stared at him. Yeah, you should have darn well said. He looked uncomfortable as hell. We finished our workout in silence. Jenna from work has stopped bringing me coffee. On Tuesday, she asked if I had thought about taking some TO with this look that said, please stop talking about your divorce. I get it. People have compassion limits. Tessa's mom called me yesterday. Honey, I am so sorry. You two are going through this. I am not going through anything, Linda. Your daughter planned to cheat. She has been under enormous pressure. That job is killing her. Maybe you two can work. I hung up on her. Derek came over last night with a truck full of tools. We are changing locks today. I don't give a darn if it is not legal yet. We changed them. I felt petty while we were doing it. Then justified. Then just exhausted. The dogs, we have 2 mutts named Hank and Biscuit, kept getting in the way. They seem confused, keep waiting by the door for her. Tessa's been texting about dividing assets fairly. I canceled her flight and got a partial refund. She lost her mind. That was my trip. I started calling divorce lawyers. Cannot afford most of them. The free consultations have been depressing as hell. Update 2, I have consulted with 3 lawyers now. 2 were way too expensive, but I found one within my budget. Here is the reality check. Texas is a community property state. Even though I paid the mortgage alone for 4 years, Tessa's entitled to equity in the house. My lawyer's advice was simple. Stay civil. Don't badmouth her publicly. Makes the divorce faster and cheaper. I wanted to blast her all over social media. He said that would be a huge mistake. Going through our documents has been a nightmare. I discovered Tessa applied for a credit card in both our names last month without telling me. Thankfully, it got declined. She withdrew $3,000 from our joint savings. The career investment she mentioned was actually her affair fund. I found a Venmo payment to Rhett for $200 in September. The description said festival tickets. But here is what broke me. I was going through the iPad and realized she had forgotten to log out of Snapchat. I know. More snooping. At this point, what is the difference? The affair didn't start 2 months ago like she claimed. It started 4 months ago, right after our anniversary trip to New Mexico in July. The trip where I thought we had reconnected, where we stayed up late talking about maybe starting a family soon, where we had romantic moments under the stars, and I thought, this is it, we are back. The first message to Rhett was dated the 18th of July. Our anniversary trip ended the 15th of July. 3 days later, she was reconnecting with her ex. I scrolled through months of messages with this sick fascination, watching my marriage disintegrate in real time, one chat bubble at a time. July, just checking in, saw you are playing at the Bluebird. Missed those days when life was simpler. August, photos exchanged. Not inappropriate yet, but flirty, testing boundaries. September, the inappropriate photos started. The planning began. What if I came to visit? Turning into, what if we took a few days just for us? October, full affair mode, daily conversations, intimate messaging, video calls when I was at work. But the messages that destroyed me weren't the intimate ones. They were the ones where she talked about me. There is a message from August where she is complaining to Rhett about my puppy dog energy. Another where she describes my supportive acts as me trying to buy her love. One from September, he paid for my flight without me asking. Sweet, right? But also, I felt so infantilized, like he is my dad, not my husband. October, sometimes I think he loves who he wants me to be, not who I actually am. It is performative. I read the woman I married for 2 years describe my attempts to be a good husband as pathetic. Every supportive act reframed as controlling. Every expression of love reframed as neediness. Derek found me drunk on a Wednesday afternoon. Not proud of that. I was sitting on the kitchen floor with Hank and Biscuit, just completely gone. The iPad was next to me with those messages still pulled up. I paid for everything, I told him. My voice didn't sound like mine. I supported every career move. I moved to Austin for her job. I took the mediocre position because it had better hours so I could handle stuff at home. And I was pathetic. Derek sat down next to me on the floor. Hank immediately climbed into his lap. Nah man, Derek said. You were a good husband. She is just rewriting things to feel less guilty. That is what they do when they cheat. They have to make you the villain so they can be the victim. It is textbook. 4 months, I said. She looked me in the eye every day for 4 months, made plans for our future. Was intimate with me, all while planning this. I know. The anniversary trip. Derek. We talked about having kids. She cried about how much she loved our life together. 3 days later, she is messaging him. Derek didn't have anything to say to that. We just sat there on the kitchen floor, drunk at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, 2:30. Something men who had no idea how to process this level of betrayal. You are gonna be okay, he finally said. I didn't believe him. Work has been hell. Jenna now actively avoids me in the break room. She will ask, hey, you doing okay? But her body language screams escape route. Chad stopped inviting me to group hangouts. Last week someone mentioned getting drinks, and Chad said maybe just us guys who aren't going through heavy stuff right now. People have compassion, expiration dates. I am learning that the hard way. Tessa came by when I was at work to get more of her stuff. Derek was there fixing a shelf. She told him he is making this so much harder than it needs to be. Derek looked at her and said, you cheated on my brother. Get out. She took some clothes and books, left our wedding album open to the page with our vows. That felt deliberate. I did something stupid last night. I found Rhett on Instagram and spent an hour writing and deleting messages. Finally sent. Did you know she was married? He replied 30 minutes later. Yeah man, sorry. She said you guys were basically done. I blocked him immediately. The divorce papers are filed. 60-day waiting period in Texas. I am keeping the house for now, but I will have to pay Tessa her share of the equity in installments. The dogs are officially mine. She admitted she cannot handle them right now. My lawyer recommended I start seeing a therapist, said it looks good for the amicable divorce angle. I went to my first session yesterday, cried for 45 minutes straight. The therapist just didn't try to fix anything or offer solutions. It was the most honest conversation I have had in weeks. I have lost 8 pounds without trying, sleeping maybe 4 or 5 hours a night. I am functioning but barely. Some days I have to remind myself to eat, but I am not being lied to anymore. That counts for something. Final update: we are 30 days into the waiting period, still being amicable, per MY lawyer's advice. I hate it, but it is working. Tessa's lawyer tried to claim she deserved half the house value. My lawyer shut that down fast, with documentation showing my down payment and 4 years of solo mortgage payments. Settlement is almost done. She gets $40,000 in equity payout. I keep the house and the dogs. I am listing the house next month. Too many memories, too expensive for one income. Found a 2-bedroom apartment near my office. Derek's helping me move. He is literally the only friend who showed up. Everyone else was busy. There is a moment that has been playing in my head. I was packing up wedding photos last week and genuinely couldn't remember which ones to keep and which to throw away. They all felt like photos of strangers. I realized I had been staying at a mediocre job because it offered stability while Tessa took career risks. I applied to a competitor 3 weeks ago. Better pay, better position. Got the offer yesterday. I start in 3 weeks. It is the first major decision I have made for myself in years, not for us. According to mutual friends, Tessa's still with Rhett long distance. She has been telling people our marriage just fell apart. No mention of the cheating. She posted something on Instagram about choosing yourself and outgrowing chapters. I saw it before I blocked her. Our mutual friend Kayla tried the whole both sides thing with me last week. She is really struggling too, you know. I looked at her and said, she made choices. I am dealing with the consequences of her choices. Not the same. Kayla hasn't texted since. Therapy is helping, slowly. We have been unpacking my childhood stuff. The whole real men provide and don't complain programming from watching my dad. My dad was a construction worker who destroyed his body to provide for us. Died at 62 from a heart attack. I internalized that message hard. Love equals sacrifice. Being a man means providing, even when it costs you. My therapist asked me last week, when is the last time you did something just for yourself? I couldn't answer. Finally admitted, I don't remember. You have spent your entire adult life trying to earn love through service. You were in a game you couldn't win. Your worth isn't transactional. Sounds simple when she says it. Feels impossible when I am alone at night, but I am trying. Small things: bought a new coffee maker because I wanted it. Joined a woodworking class, building a bookshelf nobody asked for, just because I want to. I am starting to see how I lost myself trying to be enough for someone who kept moving the bar. My therapist said something last week that hit hard. You cannot support someone into loving you. Loyalty is a choice they make, not a reward you earn. I have been repeating that to myself a lot lately. I still have bad days. Sunday I spent 3 hours looking at photos from our wedding, crying like an idiot. Monday I was fine. Tuesday I saw a couple at the coffee shop laughing together and had to leave because I couldn't handle watching someone else have what I thought I had. Wednesday I woke up and didn't think about her until noon. It is not linear. Some days I am angry, some days I am sad, some days I am just numb. Some days I actually feel okay, maybe even good. Derek's been solid through all of this. Showed up with beer and helped pack my entire house without asking questions. Last weekend we were loading boxes into the truck and he said, "You know what is messed up? She is gonna tell everyone she left because you weren't enough. But the truth is you were too much, too loyal, too supportive, too willing to sacrifice. She couldn't handle being loved like that because she knew she didn't deserve it." I don't know if that is true, but it felt good to hear. Chad tried to reconnect last week. Texted asking if I wanted to grab lunch, catch up. I thought about it for a day and then replied, I appreciate it, man. But I think we are just in different places right now. Maybe down the road. He seemed relieved, honestly. Responded with totally understand. Bro, take care of yourself. There is this new guy at the gym, Marcus. He is 40, divorced dad with 2 teenage kids. We started spotting each other a few weeks ago, and last week he mentioned he had been divorced for 5 years. I made some comment about how he must be past it by now. He laughed. Past it? Man, I am still figuring stuff out. Some days are great. Some days I see my ex dropping off the kids and remember why I loved her, and it hurts all over again. It just is what it is. That honesty was refreshing. Everyone else wants me to be over it already. Marcus gets that healing isn't a straight line. We grab coffee sometimes after workouts. He listens without trying to fix everything or tell me what I should have done differently. Just nods and says that sucks. Man, when appropriate. It is the most helpful thing anyone's done for me. Hank and Biscuit have adjusted. They don't wait by the door anymore. I realized they were always more mine anyway. The new apartment allows dogs. That was my main criteria for choosing it. Financially, I am starting from scratch at 33. Legal fees and the equity payout drained my savings. The new job helps, but it is rough. I canceled all the subscriptions Tessa wanted, saving about $200 a month now. Small victory, she kept asking to use my Netflix login. I canceled the whole account. Friends keep suggesting I get back out there with dating. I am not interested. For the first time in a decade, I am just figuring out who I am without someone else's needs driving every decision. That is enough for now. Someone commented on my original post, "You cannot love someone into being loyal." That has been stuck in my head for weeks. I tried so hard to be perfect that I forgot being human is enough. Tessa's going to tell people I wasn't enough for her. Let her. I know what I brought to that marriage. Her loss. I am moving into the new apartment next month. New job starts the week after. New routines. New patterns. No new relationship. Maybe someday, maybe not. Right now I am focused on rebuilding a life that is actually mine, not some shared project where I erased myself to make room for someone else. It is quiet nights. With the dogs now. Therapy on Thursdays. Work, gym, boring Netflix, shows nobody else has opinions about. It is not the ending I wanted when I proposed to her 5 years ago, but it is honest, and I am okay with that.